Wow. And I believe in that same chapter, you discuss another example, which is what if we get into a hotel and the light is turned off and then we see like it's kind of like a snake in the floor.
Yes.
We will go running and with the hotel staff and scream, there's a snake, and we just turned on the light and it was a rug. And like you say, part of what we're trying to do with reading Life is Setting Me Up for Success is switching that light up, understanding that we can overcome that psychological fear, which pretty much, this is maybe off the spiritual conversation. In a rational way, it's really driving most of our lives. And you can see it in the whole societal levels, like politics, economics, social conversations. We're just at odds with each other, but that's another conversation in itself. Previously you discussed about perspective shifting, which is a very huge theme in Life is Setting Me Up for Success and in your ideas, Victor. And one of those perspective shifting ideas that really got to me was you spoke about 4 levels of perspectives. Level 1, which is everything is happening to me. 2 is everything is happening for me, which, like you said before we started recording, most of the people, and including me, we just stay there. But then you add 2 more, which is level 3, everything is happening through me. And the last one is everything is happening as me. Can you care to explain those 4 levels and, what do you mean when you say everything is happening as me?
Yeah, so let's go just dissect that thing because it's a really cool idea. So in that chapter, the name of the chapter is Life is Relationships. And it's one of my favorite topics because life is about how I relate to everything else. So my experience of life, how I relate to myself, to my body, to money, to my mom, to my friends, it's the way I'm going to experience it, right? And sometimes I have better relationship in some topics. For example, I can see many people that I talk to, they have a great relationship with their wife, but a horrible relationship with their work, So the stages that I talk about, they're not linear. So you just need to be aware where you're at. So you're probably one step behind as what you think, right? So people say if I have a bad relationship with my work, that it goes deeper. I mean, life is happening to me. My boss is doing this to me and this is happening and I cannot get it, But then with my wife, everything is amazing. So it's not linear that everything is going. It can be the other way around. You love your work, but your wife is a pain in the ass. Heard that many times. Or the guy's probably worse. But anyway, so I'm just laying my experiences through life and the way I related to everything. And I try to put it in simple words that it's like those 4 states of consciousness. So it is about how you relate to different things. So life is happening to me. It's a victim mindset. And it's kind of like, I have no power and I'm a victim of circumstances. So I need to try to control. But basically, it's my boss, it's my wife, it's the money, it's the politics, it's this, it's that. It's never you. And to me, real power starts in perspective. It's the way I perceive it. Why? Because the way I relate to everything is the way I experience it. Many people fail and they're happy. Okay, I'll move on. They took care of, it's not like bad things don't happen. They do it. It just happens, but it's the way you relate to them. So when you relate and you have this relationship to something that's life is happening for you, it's like when it's going to work out even if it doesn't work out. My girlfriend dumped me, I get another girlfriend, or I'm fine by myself, or I got fired from my job, I got another job, or I'll create, there's no fear inherent because it's okay, I'm going through adversity, I'll go through it in that area of your life. So that's kind of life is happening for you. You start to realize that your perspective is the way you perceive things. And once you realize that, there's power because that's pretty cool. You're no longer a victim. So you can do anything to me. And I was like, okay, cool. It's not that I'm not going to respond in the way I think it's accurate, but there is it's fine. I accept life as it is. The 4th one, it's kind of like the experience when I teach or when I write my books or give my talks or my workshops, that is life is happening through me. Here, the experience is that it's not intellectualizing, and I'm not thinking about goals or manifesting or like that's the second level. That's why I don't think about that and I don't teach it because you're still confined in the same perspective. For example, if I'm someone that relates to life that I'm not worthy and I need to do something in order to be worthy, and then I get $1 million, now I'm going to be someone with $1 million that is not worthy.
Mhm.
And it's pretty funny to see because you can watch. It doesn't matter how much money you have, but you can watch that. And in our society, it's pretty weird when you look at it that one guy, imagine the same guy who relates to themselves and to life that they're not enough. So one guy starts drinking to feel the pain, not to be, and the other guy starts doing a workaholic and he succeeds in the world. But as far as I'm concerned, because the way I see life is about revealing the limitations that we have and transcending it so we can share it with everyone else. As far as from that point of view, these two guys haven't gone anywhere because they're still relating to themselves as insufficient. They're still projecting their own fears and insecurities into life. Just one is going through the bottle and the other one is going through work. So it's such a perspective thing, depends on when you look at it. But in our society, one is rewarded and the other one is condemned. And to me, they're both suffering. So it doesn't even matter. So that's why when life is happening through you, it's such a cool experience because you're just a channel. It's just happening and you're just watching it happen. So it's not rationalized. And you were asking me advice about like writing your book and everything. And that's kind of like share my experience of when I teach and write and everything. It's like I quiet my mind and I just let it through. And it's such an amazing experience because then you're not limited by your mind. Because I also talk about it in the book, and I'm going to try to cover as much as we can, that our rational mind is limited by my memory. So everything that I can think is already the past. Everything that I'm thinking is just an accumulation of information. So it's not true creativity. It's not creation. So in order for me to create something, I need to be silent. I need to be quiet. I need to be empty. And all the sutras and all the ancient texts says this. They say it over and over again. But now we think that it's about getting more information or getting it right instead of actual practicing. And this is what I was going to get is like our minds are like a program, like a computer, and they get good at what you practice. So if you practice acceptance, you'll be good at it. If you practice resistance, you'll be good at it. And most of we will programs to resist life. It's never life is enough into itself. You always want something else. So what happens is like we practice resistance for most of our days for years and years and years. And then we read a book and we do a course and we think our minds are going to change like this. And that's just simply a lie. You are good at what you practice. So my teaching is practice acceptance, develop a mind. And in Buddhism, they call an equanimous mind because it's a mind that doesn't contract, but it's the same idea that if you develop a mind that accepts life as it is, and you can move to change, because that's another topic that you cannot move to change when you accept life as it is. And that's simply not true. You just accept everything as it is, and then you move to change and create whatever you want. I don't know if I went off topic, but...
No, that was great. You went into the 4 levels, and the one that I believe we can get a bit more thoroughly is the transition from through me, everything is happening through me, to everything is happening as me.
Yeah.
Do you want to expand a bit more on that?
Yeah, of course. I just wanted to remind you guys that this relationship depends on what are you relating to, because it's not an absolute. We're not enlightened. I don't teach enlightenment because I'm not enlightened, but I teach higher consciousness because once you start seeing, you stop suffering. It's pretty cool. Who doesn't want that, right? When you accept everything, that you stop suffering.
Yeah.
So it's how you relate to things. And it's the same example. But I can be in flow in my work, but I can have a horrible relationship with my wife, and I can be in not state of duality that I'm going to explain with my children or whatever, right? So as me is when there is no more separation anymore. This experience of what one is. So that's like one of the coolest experience you can have, because then everything you see is a part of yourself, and you're kind of watching how you are everything unfolding. So it's a pretty cool experience when that happens. Many people got that experience through drugs. ayahuasca or plant medicine or whatever. And the problem about them is not that I haven't done it or I don't have many thoughts about it. The only thing that I have seen with that is that people who take drugs think that insight is the answer. So you see something and you think that's it, I'm cured. Again, if you see the insight is the opportunity for you to do the work. So if you see a pattern in your own mind, oh, cool. Now you can change it. If you cannot see it, you cannot change it. So my whole work, and when I work with one-on-one people, is to making them aware of what they cannot see so they can practice living from this new space.